Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change your life. Continuing on the Maimon of Kein. So basically, what we're going to do today in the Maimon is in Eis Daled, the Rebbe is sort of going to summarize everything that we've been saying and really pull out the point. And then in Eis Hey, if we have some time, we'll start it today. We'll start to ask the question from a whole different perspective, of course. It will be the same question, but a whole different perspective. Let's see. Eis Daled. So according to everything we've explained, that ultimately what we said yesterday is that a Geirol, Yom Kippur, and Purim are really l'mayla, not just from Chachma, not just they're above Chachma, they reach a deeper level than wisdom above, but even a deeper level, even higher than the level of the Ratzon, the will, which is representative of the little piece on top of the Yud. That's what's being achieved, that's being reached on these days. They're reaching a level, like we said, the Bala Ratzon, meaning God himself, not the way he expresses himself in any way. According to this, we can explain the connection between two explanations. Yom Kippur, or the name, something very interesting. That in Yom Kippur, everything gets nullified. Everything that's not good get turned. Kippurim, meaning atonement. That's what it means. Atonement in the simple sense. And and that it's like Purim. So these two ideas, that the connection, the similarity between Yom Kippur and Purim is we had this lottery of the two goats. Just like on Purim, just like on Purim, that we have this girl, this lottery that happened by Haman. That's the similarities. Because the completeness of atonement because the complete atonement on the thing that we did that were against Hashem and against his Torah mitzvahs, because when we bring down the atonement is coming from a level of the infinite light of God, which is the Bala Ratzon, the, so to speak, owner of the will, which before we're talking about the will is the highest level, and we're reaching a level above that. We're talking about the person that owns the will, God himself. There's my will and there's me. We're reaching, so to speak, me, God, which is above the Ratzon that Hashem has. So, and he's going to explain it beautifully. Meaning there's God that has a Ratzon, and there's God himself. And what we achieve on Yom Kippur and on Purim really is we reach God himself. And that's why on Yom Kippur we get atonement, the day of atonement. Why? Because even though there's something wrong and logically we should get punished, and even on a deeper level, we heard God's feeling and his Ratzon could be hurt, but we reach a level in Yom Kippur above all that. And therefore, we're able to be atoned. And this is the connection. There's two explanations on Yom Kippur. One, Yom HaKippurim, which is Hu Kamoi Purim, Hashem Apur Her Gerol. You have the fact that Yom Kippur is like Purim, and that it's like a lottery. Also Yom Kippur, not just in Purim, you reach this level of the Bala Ratzon, but also Yom Kippur you have this. Like what we draw down on Purim, which we explained before in the last chapter. This is the explanation on why it's Yom Kippur. Like we said before, that Yom Kippur it returns. And therefore, what we're saying is that the atonement that we reach on Purim is even greater than the atonement that we reach on Yom Kippur. Because the Yom Kippurim Einu Mischaper Elim Tshuva. On Yom Kippur, we have to be in Shul all day. We have to do tshuva, ask God for forgiveness. Ella, yeah, that's how you get a turn. Whereas the atonement happened to the Jewish people on Purim, it was a festive day. They were celebrating their victory. They were very happy. Sorry, 1 second. Because the main thing of the lottery, which is the Hamshacha Bechinas Balaratzim, which is the lottery, which is reaching the Balaratzim, God Himself, who be made Purim. That's what mainly happened in Purim. The Hayamim Atzmam Nikrayim Hashem Purim, because the days itself, Purim, like we said, is called because of this lottery. So what we're saying is that the lottery, which is showing on the Balaratzim, is that we reach a level of tshuva on Purim, meaning we reach this level above Balaratzin, and it doesn't have to be done. We're not even doing it with tshuva. In Kippur, we also reach the Balaratzin, we reach God Himself, but it's with tshuva. Whereas in Purim, there's no tshuva, just a happy day. Who be made Purim? This is intrinsic to Purim. The Hayamim Atzam Nikrayim Purim Hashem Purim. And therefore, the limitation on Purim, it doesn't exist. What we can achieve, Yom Kippurim, which is Purim, but where's Yom Kippur, which we do have this atonement. We do have atonement, but it's through tshuva. It's only like Purim. And it's become tshuva. So what we're saying is a very funny, a very crazy idea. We're saying that essentially, what we achieve on Yom Kippur and Purim, I sort of speak the same thing, but Purim is much greater. Because on Yom Kippur, you achieve atonement. Why? Because you reached God Himself. But you have to do tshuva. On Purim, there's no tshuva needed. We just be simple and happy and dancing. We can reach this level, tshuva. Now, let's explain this a little bit. Let's understand this a little bit. In simple terms, that you do something wrong to any person, and you hurt them, hurt their feelings intellectually. They ask you to do something, you didn't do it, so it's a problem, and you need to do tshuva. Now, what happens if you tap into a deeper source, and you go, meaning, let's say, a kid does something wrong, yeah, and you're not happy with him. Your son, your daughter does something wrong, and you're unhappy. But let's say something scary happens. Let's say Chas v'Shalom, there's a fire, or they run on the road, or there's nearly a car crash. All that feelings you have of resentment or unhappiness because of what is wrong goes away. Why? Because, and what would you do? You go give him a big hug. Why? Because you're reaching a deeper level. There's a deeper level in the relationship. There's a level of the relationship. They did something wrong and it bothers me. But then we tap into a deeper level in the relationship where it's above they're bothering me. A person's child could bother them, but you would never think to yourself in the depth of your heart, you never want to see them again. You wouldn't say, hey, I don't want to see you ever again. And even if they would say it for whatever reason, it wouldn't be real. Chas v'Shalom would never say such a thing, a parent. Never happened. And so what's happening? Within us is different levels. There's a level that we get unhappy, that I'm tired, and the physical world takes its place within me, and I haven't eaten, I'm hungry, and my kids running around. So that bothers me, and I get unhappy. But then there's a deeper level within me that, of course, my kids don't bother me. It gets expressed on different special occasions. And that's sort of what's happening on Purim and Kippur. But what's interesting that normally, so on Yom Kippur, we have to tshuva. It means something bad has to happen, something deep has to happen to reveal that connection that we have. Whereas on Purim, we reveal that connection, but it's without anything bad, anything negative, anything intense. It's just happening happily. We are dancing, we are happy in Purim, and God's and the deepest levels of that relationship that we have with God is being revealed. And that's essentially what we're saying here. And that's what we're saying, that really Yom Kippur, Yom Purim is even greater than Yom Kippur. Because Yom Kippur reveals it as well. But we have to do tshuva. still have to do tshuva. Whereas in Purim, there's no inyan of tshuva. But you're reaching the same levels that we reach through tshuva and Yom Kippur. So that shows that Purim is even greater. Now this is sort of the setup that the Rebbe is building, and this is sort of the picture, the image that he's giving us in order to explain the question that we have. It's going to be asked the same question we asked in Ois Aleph, but now we have so much more information. So now we understand that what happens at Purim, we reach this level of the Balaratza, we reach a level of godliness himself, God himself. Now, Haman makes a lottery. What was he thinking? We're saying that on Purim, we reveal this lottery is showing on the deepest of levels. A level of Balaratza and God himself, above even the Ratzon of Hashem. So why does Haman think that he's going to, why would he do this? Why would he make a lottery for this? Meaning he's the one, in a certain sense, he's the one who's helping reveal this level. So what was he thinking? Look what we're achieving on Purim. And it's like Yom Kippur. Or Yom Kippur is like Purim. And look what we're achieving on Yom Kippur. And this what Purim is achieving is even greater. So what was he thinking? Well, how did he expect that he's going to be able to destroy us? Let's go a little bit, just because it's so good. So, hey, we need to understand the Lafiha now. So, according to everything we just explained, Shali Day Pur, who are girl through Purim, which is the lottery. Who girl who I'm shachas ain't say Balaratza, we're drawing down the infinite light, the urn of the Ratzon, God Himself. Through that, all the non-good things get returned. Like when something wrong happens with a child, but you get to a deeper level, and then it doesn't matter what they did today. When Chas Shalom, something scary happens to your child, even though the whole day you could have been a brat and annoying you, and you're in the worst of moods with them. When that dangerous thing happens, you go grab them, you give them a hug, and that connection is revealed. That's what's happening in Purim. So what was the svara? What was the logic of Haman? That he made this decree, that he sought to destroy the Jewish people. To make this girl, to make this lottery. What was he thinking? We just explained that we reached the Balaratzin. There ain't safe. We're reaching God himself through this lottery. So what was he thinking of making the lottery? The Gamtar have nothing to understand. This that we say, Al Kein Purim Hapur. What does it mean that because we call this name Purim? Because of the lottery. The Hapur, but how you do it, when we say the lottery, means like the one that we know about. What does that mean? So this lottery, we call Purim because of this lottery that Haman made to destroy the Jewish people. This wasn't a good lottery. The original, we had the question in the beginning. So why are we calling this Purim? Why are we calling on this lottery? I guess I'll have to stop here. The Chris Abir explanation is to be continued tomorrow. I want to wish everyone a special day today is Zayin Adar Moshe Rabbeinu, which we talked about in the Maimah. It's his birthday in Yartzah, like we talked about in the Maimah. So all the Hamshachas that Moshe can bring to us should give it to us. We should have an amazing Purim, and we should have this revelation of godliness, what we're talking about today. Thank you for joining.